with Paint Love. And so I'll give you a little start of my story. In 2013, I was asked, I guess I can go ahead and start you here. In 2013, I was asked to teach an art workshop with a group called Wellspring Living. And if you aren't familiar with Wellspring Living, they rescue girls out of sex trafficking in Atlanta. And so I was invited with 2 other artists to do a group workshop with the girls. And it was incredible. We really saw the therapeutic values of art out of that workshop and out of that day. And it was so much fun. The staff was really blown away by the talent. They said, we had no idea our girls could do this. And so they invited me back. I wanted to go back. And so I went back and I brought my supplies. But there was a problem. That one event, that workshop that we went to, was just planned by special volunteers just for one day at one time. Wellspring Living didn't have the resources to pay for any extra supplies or for artists to come back again and again. So I brought my supplies, but I wondered if there was a better way. I wondered if there were more organizations out there like Wellspring Living that lacked the artistic resources and the connections to find artists in the community for the students that they serve. And I wondered if there were more artists out there like me that would love to serve organizations or would love to have an opportunity to use art to help others, but wouldn't necessarily be able to afford to bring the resources and the artistic supplies every time. And the logistics, the number of emails that happens to make one event happen is pretty astounding. So I found that the answer to both those questions, were there more organizations out there like Wellspring, and would more artists be interested in this idea if all the logistics were taken care of and all the supplies were taken care of? And we found the answer easily and quickly was a resounding yes. And so that's where the idea of Paint Love began. And so that's what we do at Paint Love. So we connect artists and nonprofits for a positive impact on youth. And we provide free art workshops throughout Metro Atlanta for youth facing poverty and trauma. And we provide all the logistics and all of the supplies. So what does that look like? What do we do? So here's a little sampling. I'll talk about a few of these, and then I'm going to go into an in-depth couple stories for you. What that looks like, if you see the far right there, Believe You Can, that's an artist replicating students' handwriting around a challenge of what they wanted to do and see that school year. So they were able to walk by that mural every day and see their writing up on that wall. The next one is a collaborative mural with a group of 4th graders. They created things around American heroes, and we formed that into a long cloak. That picture actually goes all the way down to the floor of this girl together. The next one is a graffiti project where we took a group of teens facing the loss of the death of a parent or sibling, and we used graffiti art, and we gave them a challenge of getting ready for the school year. And some other projects on the bottom, but I'm going to talk about 3 pictures on your far left, which are a metal pouring workshop with that same group of teens at Kate's Club. And so what we do is we partner with an organization like Kate's Club, for example. Kate's Club is a nonprofit that empowers children and teens who have lost a parent or sibling, if some of you are familiar with that. And so every month, Kate's Club has a theme, and it's a theme around grief. And so this particular month that we were partnering with them was discovering and understanding your grief journey. And so with that in mind, I found 3 incredible metal artists to partner with Kate's Club for that month, and they came up with a brilliant idea. They created a portable metal foundry, and that's a metal pouring station that they brought on site to Kate's Club. They created it themselves. And we collected hundreds and hundreds of soda cans, and the students got to create a mold they have a little sand mold, and they got to etch in there what they wanted their sculpture to be like. And the students got to crush the metal cans. They got to put on the entire regalia of a metal foundry, which we brought on site. And they got to pour their own metal, and it was 1,800 degrees, that hot right there. And they got to create their own metal sculpture. And they each got to take it home that day after they were done. And that's an example of one of the girls made. And we were able to equate this project of taking something old and broken, the soda can, and turning it into something beautiful and new, this sculpture. And we equated that to the grief journey that they were walking through. And it was such an incredible day, and it was something that those students, we hope, will remember for a lifetime. That I've never gotten to be a part of a metal foundry, and that hands-on application of taking what they were learning and putting it in an artistic perspective is really special. Another project that we do, and we work with part Title I schools and part nonprofit organizations. And Terrence touched on Title I schools a little bit. Title I schools are schools, I think we have a room full of lots of teachers. I don't even have to go into it. But this is an after-school program at a Title I school for girls around the ideas of self-esteem and self-image. And they were studying the theme of authenticity, and that sometimes we put on masks. And we brought in an incredible mixed media. She's actually an encaustic wax artist who has done other projects with us. And she came up with this mask project. And the girls were able to create masks to visually show sometimes we wear masks, sometimes we want to be the popular, or sometimes we sometimes could be the bully, or other masks that we happen to wear, and that we need to learn to take off those masks and be authentic. And again, just a visual representation for these girls to really understand this theme and to use art as just a creative outlet that they can talk about this conversation of authenticity. And I'm going to go back and stop here. But that's what our events look like. And we have done a lot of them. We'll go into talking a little bit about that. But we are still very new. Like I said, the idea started in 2013. And I'm going to walk into that right now. The idea started in 2013. In 2014, we got our 501c3 status. And just that year, we were able to connect with 10 local artists. We did 6 events, and we served 100 students through 4 partner organizations, Wellspring Living, Kate's Club being 2 of those. And the next year, which last year was our first full year, we found, as I said, there are organizations out there who are looking for opportunities like this, and we currently have a waiting list because of that. And so in 2013, we were able to recruit 35 local artists. We had 32 events serving 850 plus students, and 16 partner organizations. And then this year so far, we have 44 local artists on our team. We've had 25 events, and we've served over 1,000 students this year. One new partner organization that we now have on our team is Wilderness Works, which incredible. I know you just got to hear him speak, but to go to their facility was just a treat, and to be able to work with their kids and see how much they love on their kids was really special. And we did a wilderness-themed project where we had the students create sculptures actually out of sticks. And we heard the next day they were collecting sticks on their hike to make more sculptures. So that's a good thing for us. So we have seen significant growth, and we have a waiting list for our projects. And a big challenge, because we are really almost an event-based company. What we do is really logistics of that connecting and finding donations and getting the art supplies and making these events happen. The majority of our work comes down to personnel and making sure that we have enough people to coordinate these events and make them happen. And so I'm excited about getting to talk to several of you more in this deeper about our challenges of paying payroll or more things like that. But getting people on our team to make these events happen, because it's incredible the amount of artists who say, I want to be involved, and the amount of volunteers that say, why don't you have more events and organizations to applying. And so we're so excited that we get to share kind of this journey a little bit with you. And I'll leave you with a thought that, I'm sure you hear this in other capacities, but it's not about teaching children art. It's about giving them a positive outlet, and it's about giving them tools that they can take away and really fueling their creativity. And I think when they can start thinking in a new light, they can start seeing themselves in a new light, and eventually paint a brighter future for themselves through this art. And so that's what I'll leave you on. Thank you all so much for your time.